dead. Looks like I shall be rewarded. Ahsoka Tano.
What's up, Headless Horde? Your man called it. Smoke. The Inquisitor was smoke. Marok smoke. What do you guys think about that episode? Oh man, that was a good episode. Initial thoughts. Probably the best Star Wars we've seen, if not since Revenge of the Sith, at least when Luke came back in Mando season 2. I thought the episode was fantastic. I cannot wait for next week. I think it's going to even get better because I think at this point, the trailers have only shown what we've seen up to this point, except for maybe those 2 little shots of Thrawn. So, the episode was awesome. I mean, we're going to definitely deep dive into this one tonight. We started a little early because the NFL season is starting tonight. So I'm going to come on at 7:30. So in case people want to watch football, they don't have to worry about it. So we'll try to get out of here by 8:30. But yeah, the episode for me, 10 out of 10, probably the best Disney Star Wars we've seen. I know overall the show started off a little bit on the slow side, but I think it was worth the wait to get to this. And I mean, seeing Anakin at the end of the episode, we know in episode 5. Remember, episode 5 is directed by Dave Filoni himself. It's probably going to be a lot of conversation. It's probably going to be a lot of going back in the time and seeing what happens. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I heard there's rumors with like Ahsoka going back to like Mustafar when Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting and seeing what happens if she interjects. And there's a bunch of crazy rumors. I mean, who knows what's true? But man, oh man, like going back to Marok with the being the smoke, I just had a feeling, and we saw the Night Sisters in the Clone Wars. It was a fantastic arc. And I just when I went back and watched Tales of the Jedi, I'm like, man, oh man, I just feel like that's going to happen again. And I was kind of right on that one. So unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. All right, let me bring my co-host on for tonight, Mr. Ryan Milky. Now, I know you enjoyed the episode because that was straight Clone Wars stuff right there and Rebel stuff. You with me, Ryan?
How you doing?
All right, man.
Yeah,
How you doing, dude?
But my Wi-Fi is terrible. I can hear just about. It's the constant news. I should change my name to Stupid Wi-Fi. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely annoyed. But thank God we have fantastic shows like Ahsoka to watch because, dude, it's amazing. Best episode yet. Anthony, who is Ahsoka? Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan. You should know this.
Oh, who said it? Oh, so Blaze said it? Wait, I didn't even see that comment. Oh, what is it? He's talking about Harry Potter right now. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, dude, so like this episode was like literally like Rebels. Like this is how good Rebels was. Like this is prime Rebels stuff. And like I said, we're gonna kind of deep dive into it. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me right off the bat.
Agree. Best episode of Star Wars that Disney has ever produced. Ever.
Yeah. I agree 100%. What's up, Dana? How you doing? What's going on? Frosty Milky. What's up, Blaze? OG, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pull up I actually have the entire episode. We're going to kind of go through it. I mean, there is so much. Whoa! Quick. I need to hear why. Because, oh, wow. Okay. All right. You have your reasons. I want to see why. Because I really thought this was the best Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith. Like, this episode was probably better than the one with Luke. And the one with Luke was awesome. But, Luke was in it for all of what, 6 minutes, and it's obviously a fantastic the way they do it. But this episode overall, and I even thought the episode kind of started up a little bit on the slow side, with the whole fighting, the kind of the minions or whatever at the beginning. I thought it was a little bit cheesy actually. I actually didn't like it. I had mentioned this back on Tuesday before we watched the episode. I had mentioned in the trailer, I thought that it just didn't look grand. Like it did. Yeah, honestly, when you know what it looked like, dude, it looked like they were up against a green screen because the trees were just in the background, and they were just fighting these droids, just trying to give us a little action before the episode started. And so I know I said something like that. I didn't really like the way it looked in the trailer, and maybe it was a little bit better in the final cut. But even like when she uses the Force, and then we can actually go through it because I have it up right here. So, we started the episode. They're kind of getting out of the ship. There's a little foreshadowing here, too, for the episode. Did you catch that foreshadowing, Brian?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I can go back. There's a conversation.
No, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, there's a conversation between them. Let me see if I can get the exact quote. It'll be hard to get the exact quote because I'm already over here again. But yeah, there's definitely foreshadowing. We'll get there at the end. But so I want to see if I can get that when they're fighting these guys. I don't know. What do you think about Hugh Wang, the way he fought? Were you okay with that? Like the little hand-to-hand combat stuff with him?
It was weird. Yeah.
It was weird.
It was like janky. It felt like it didn't need to be done. I think he could have just gone into like loud alarm mode and could have got Ahsoka's attention a lot quicker than what he did, Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can get that conversation between these two. I can't play much in a row without, risking copyright. But there's definitely a part of the conversation that they're having that foreshadows with like this is part of it. It's gonna be hard to hit it, I think, because again, I don't want to get copyrighted on it. So, anyways, they're off. Let me see if I get that right. Okay, here's the fight. So they get off of the ship. He's trying to repair it, and then we hear the fights, and then this guy, dude, he starts jacking up like Rocky, dude. Dude, just like rocking sock'em robots. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's what this reminded me of. And it was cool though. He was using all four of his arms, which was that was kind of cool. But obviously, then Ahsoka comes out and it kind of saves the day. And I don't know, just that Force movement. I think it's like right here. I just don't love it. It just looks weird to me. I think it's like right here when she's getting shot. Like right here. Like doesn't it look weird to you? Like I know we were talking about this a little bit on Tuesday. I just feel like it looks strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being like weird, but
no, it does. You're correct. It definitely does look strange. But they were transitioning from scene to scene, and I get it. And I did pay attention when I even watched the episode. I was like, oh yeah, Headless made a good point.
Yeah, so she grabs them, and of course it's not pausing when I want, but like just the way she brings them to the screen. Like, why don't they just have the wide shot of that? Like, why does it have to be like? I don't know. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like almost like, okay, bring them in front of the camera now. Like, it's weird. I don't know. It's just an odd thing for me, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, if that's the least of our worries, we're in good shape here.
Yeah.
So they kind of take these guys down, and then he talks about how it's going to set him back trying to fix the ship, and basically goes on. And so they decided to, go and try to get the Balon and Shin over by the wherever they are doing the whole map thing. And the big reveal, or not the big reveal, but the big clue here that something's going to happen is he's like do what you guys do best and stick together. So like right when he says that, like you just know that something's going to happen. They're probably not going to stick together, and then we obviously see what happens. But so we're kind of moving through, and we go back to Hera.
Yeah, good catch.
Yep. And so we go back to Hera, and we finally get to see the ghost after she decides that she's going to disobey orders. And let's see, I'm trying to see. I know they have a good shot of Ghost here somewhere. Where is it? It's really janky when you go through this. I can't, of course, I can't get it. She's a little conversation with her son. It's kind of interesting. There's the back of the Ghost, at least, right there. I just love the formation right there. And again, just another great shot in space, which we never ever get. I feel like we never get that in Star Wars anymore. I thought it was a great shot. And then we do get to see, everyone's favorite Rebel pilot. Where's he at? I know he's in here. Where is he? Oh, brutal. Just can't get what I want, man.
Tiva.
Yeah, we get to see Tiva.
Carson Tiva.
Yep. And I just can't get it. I get everybody but him. And I missed it. There he is, Carson Tiva. So if you remember, we saw he's a Mandalorian as well, and he is he's actually the guy who we see at the end of Mando season 3 was Zeb. And it's funny on social media. I had a couple people shoot me out a couple questions about this. They're like, "Well, why is he there but not Zeb?" So you got to remember, this is taking place during Mando season 3, so he probably hasn't really even hooked up with Zeb yet, or if he has, that scene in Mando season 3, it hasn't happened yet because we're still kind of in the middle of Mando season 3. So that could be why we don't see Zeb. I think we might see Zeb by the end. Now I'm starting to believe that we do. I mean, we get him. How are we not going to have Zeb? The other thing to remember too is that Zeb probably cost a pretty penny to produce on screen. Because he looked pretty good, I thought. All right, so
yeah, he looked fantastic.
It was great. And so we get back here, and then we see that so they're talking, and he lost faith a long time ago. He's talking about the Jedi Order here, and then she's using the map again to kind of find where Thrawn is. So that's kind of what they're doing. And then of course we go back to the woods, and this is where we get the two amazing battles. So Ahsoka will end up taking on Marek, I think it is pronounced. And then we get Sabine rematch with Shin. So going into this, and then after you kind of saw them separate and see who's going to fight who, what were you thinking here?
I was thinking Sabine was going to die. I was thinking Ahsoka was going to somehow survive. But I don't know. I was just in awe watching it, and I still am. I've watched this episode 4 times, and I'm still like it's the first time watching. It's like it's epic. I like the lightsaber designs. I like the noise, the sound design, especially in this episode, was fantastic.
See, I like
probably my favorite bad guy.
Yeah, dude, Shin, dude, I love Shin and Baylan, man. They're awesome. I like this because we get to see Sabine at least firing the bullets, at least trying something different, before just whipping out the lightsaber, knowing she already got, almost died from it. So I like this part a lot. The way she's actually using her Mandalorian stuff. She still doesn't use any of the other tricks though. I mean, she uses one trick later on, but she's just kind of chasing her down, and eventually you can see it right there. Now her helmet flying off, that's a little convenient, I think. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, the helmet flying off. I didn't love that part of it. But obviously they wanted to get her back down and to use the lightsaber and all that. So, but yeah, I thought it was really, really fun. I thought it was a great fight, and I like how they bounce back and forth. It reminded me very, very much of like OG trilogy. when we have Luke and Vader fighting, we go back down to Endor, then we're above Endor with Lando and stuff. That's what it reminded me of, and I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, they blew the budget on the smoke monster. Yeah. You're probably right. But yeah, I mean, I love the fights. I thought they were great. And then so she does end up fighting with the lightsaber, and then they kind of bounce back and forth. So they're trying to find Thrawn, and what are they doing? They're trying to upload it right to the ship so they know where to go. That's basically what they're doing, because then that comes into play a little bit later on. We get to go back to Ahsoka.
It downloads in the coordinates.
Say that one more time, Ryan. Yeah, you cut out there. But yeah, so we go back to the fight. Oops, I skipped too much. And there's the ending of Merrick right there. So I like the spinning, and that was a great shot too. Like right here. I had it and lost it. So it's right. I don't know if I passed it up again or not. See, here they have the trees into the background. This makes it a lot better. So here's the Merrick, and then very her stance here, very very much like Anakin, and it is pretty cool. She actually raised it like right above her head, just like Anakin does earlier in the episode, or should say earlier in the fight, and then so then we kind of see the end of this dude. And she just kind of goes right through like samurai action, just like that. And there's a shot right there. You saw him in the background. Yeah, and Merrick dies, and he ends up being Smoke. So to kind of explain what they're trying to do here is, so in the new Thrawn trilogy, what had happened was, oh my god, these fucking people, dude.
Just carry on.
Yeah, I know. Let me just delete it. You don't have to worry about it. So in the original Thrawn trilogy, or I should say not the original, but the newer trilogy done by Timothy Zahn. So Thrawn ended up making an army of basically raised the dead, so of zombies, more for lack of a better word. So I think what they're doing here is they're showing the fact that using the Night Sister magic, that she can raise the dead. So I'm thinking that's what they did. She probably found an old Inquisitor, and that's what we saw in Tales of the Jedi. And then also, this is what they're trying to show here. So obviously, for the viewers who did not watch Tales of the Jedi, this is the first time they're seeing this. But they have shown some of that Night Sister magic here and there anyways. So they're just kind of trying to link it all together. So I think that's what they're trying to do. Because remember, they're not taking the Thrawn trilogy and making that the Ahsoka show. They're going to take bits and pieces of it. So I think that's one of the parts that they're doing is with Night Sister magic, and the way that he can reanimate dead people. So, let's see.
So it makes me question.
Go ahead.
Makes me question: Can she make another one? Can she just now the team think Marek's dead? They could turn up thinking, oh, it's 2 against 2 now, it's fair. But actually, she could just come out of the woodwork with another one that she's made with magic. So we could get another Marok style person,
Yeah. I think that's what the idea is, because like I said, in the trilogy, in the book trilogy, he makes an entire army. So I would not be surprised if when we get to see Thrawn finally, which I don't know if it's gonna be next episode. We may not be till like episodes 7 and 8, but I'm wondering if either down the road or in this season, are we gonna see him, because he had stormtroopers that were all basically reanimated is what they were. So they've kind of started up with these Inquisitors. Now we never really got a true like you know how the Inquisitors are like the second brother or the seventh sister or whatever. So really, it's only been
Yeah.
Merrick and one other Inquisitor Grand Inquisitor, but one other Inquisitor I think in lore, which I think if I remember correctly is in Jedi. It's either Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor. They actually have a name and not like a number between before them. So well, and now, well, obviously we have Reva too, but we're not going to talk about Reva. So, which technically she's still alive, I guess, but whatever. Anyways, so we got that. So then we see here when she is, I skip it. No, they're still fighting. So we got them still working on the map. And she does say that. So Sabine actually goes over there, and she basically says that, go ahead, go get the map piece and all that. She's like, I got this, basically. So, and then we get the end of that other fight. If I can get there. So actually, before the end of that fight, I don't know, is the fight over yet between? See, I feel like the other fight is already over. It is over because I can't see it. Because I wanted to get to that one little spot that we get to see. So they're still fighting. See, it doesn't look like the fight's over. I don't know, dude. I can't find it now. Okay, I'm going through. Okay, so the fight's over here.
The fight's
there it
over
is.
at the quite hot, yeah.
Yeah,
it's halfway through in Ahsoka, isn't it? Because she comes up, she thinks she's dead.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. This is when she knocks her down, and then we get this, where I don't. So why do you think? So do you think she uses the Force, or do you think that Shin just kind of like turns, thinking she's about to use the Force? Do you think there's any Force power here at all?
No, I think she used the Force. Yeah, I think she pushed her shoulder back in this scene.
See, so you think she did use the Force there?
Yes.
See, I didn't know. It's interesting because they don't. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna play it with the sound. Just this real quick scene here. So she takes her down. So you think that's her using the Force? I don't know. I think the way she reaches out,
kind of hear her.
I think that I feel like it's just Shin, like just anticipating maybe. I don't know. See, I don't know if she's really actually using it. So you think she did?
Interesting.
So you think there might have been a little something there?
Yeah, I do. I never gave it thought. I thought she used the Force.
Okay. See, when I
listen for the whoosh.
You have no power.
I mean, that was kind of cool. I like how they did that. See, I felt like Shin, like you see that arm go out when you're when you're used to fighting Force users, and I feel like she just kind of flinched almost, rather more than Sabine actually used the Force. So you're saying you think that she actually did do a little something and push her away like that. Interesting. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? Do you think she actually used the Force? Because I didn't think so when I watched it, and I watched it back like 6 times, and it makes it look
you also
like that.
don't want her to use the Force.
You're right. I also don't want her to use it. You're right, because I think she's going to become more powerful. Well, we'll see at the end of the episode. I think she's going to become more powerful when we get to our galaxy. I think there's going to be something that happens. I don't know, man. I don't think so. It's interesting though. That's two totally different opinions here. What's up, poppin'?
What's up, Poppin?
Poppin', we only answer trolls.
Love you, brother.
Oh my gosh, it's too funny. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, back to Ahsoka. I don't know. Definitely a good conversation. What does Theory think? Did you manage to catch up on anything he said? Did he think she used the Force?
It's funny, man. I listened to most of the reaction stuff on Tuesday after the episode dropped, and they didn't really talk that much about it, which I found a little interesting. They didn't really bring that part up very much, and I'm really curious. Like I said, I feel like maybe she tried, and I just feel like I feel like Shin was more of a flinch, and that's why she basically said, I like this episode, but what are you talking about? So I want to know why. I want to know why, because the end of this episode and even these two fights are really good. Like, it's interesting because like this is what Star Wars is. Star Wars has always been about the characters making tough choices, which we're about to go. We're about to get to that part. And lightsabers. I mean, for me, it's always been characters making tough choices that affect the overall arching story, which we totally got in this episode, and amazing lightsaber battles. In a little bit, obviously a little bit of romance, and because of Anakin and Padme, and then Han and Leia. But I don't know. I mean, Poppin, did you watch all of Rebels? Like, I guess that's the only question I have, because if you didn't watch all of Rebels, I understand. If you don't know what happened in Rebels and you really didn't watch it all, or at least the final season, I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else you'd want. If you don't understand the world between worlds, that's a whole other thing. And I think that's the toughest thing with the series, is because if you don't understand what that is or have any idea of what it is super confusing. Like, why did Anakin show up at the end? Like, people are, if you didn't watch anything, you're totally confused. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you watched the reviews, but like, I don't know, did you watch the stuff on Patreon? Because those were the full episodes. The stuff we dropped on YouTube, we couldn't drop the entire thing. So it's very choppy, and I think you get the gist. But I think really to deep dive, you really need to watch every episode in full, not just choppiness. I don't know. It's interesting because like I said, for me, I absolutely love Rebels. Ryan, when we did our reviews, I told you many times that I always liked Rebels more, than Clone Wars. I was always a bigger fan of Rebels, just because I love the way they brought in all new characters and they made the characters phenomenal. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting because I'm wondering like what people want. I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I was so disappointed in the sequels. And even in Mando season 3, I was super disappointed in that as well. So I don't know. It's just, I guess it's interesting. So they ended up fight, and we go back to Ahsoka. And I thought, honestly, out of the 3 fights, I thought this was the best one. Balin is just a badass, man. Like, Balin is probably my favorite character in this show right now. Like, it's so awful that he passed away because I thought he was great.
It annoys me that Hollywood ignored. The guy could have done so many good stuff, and so it could have been a lead character in so many cool shows. Like, I've said it before on this breakdown, but if I want a character from a different show to be in Game of Thrones, that's the highest ultimate I can give them as an actor, because Game of Thrones is top tier for me, as you all know. And Balin fits in Game of Thrones for me perfect.
Yeah.
Or even House of the Dragon, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the way he fights in this episode too, dude, it's like straight looks like Game of Thrones stuff, you know?
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah, that it's so good. I mean, just look at the power swings, you know? It reminds me of honestly, it reminds me of the Mountain. That's what he reminded me of. The Mountain, like a combination of the Mountain and the Hound. I mean, just
Yeah.
those huge power swings. You know, and Ahsoka,
Yeah.
you know, did you find it interesting that Ahsoka was only fighting with one saber? She always, you know, she wasn't using the smaller dagger one.
I did. Yeah, I was waiting through the fight scene to see if she would incorporate it and like surprise him or something, but she didn't. I was surprised.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that and this is just I have no idea if this is right. This is just going back to like playing like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Is that when you do fight in that game, I dual wield a lot, but you are definitely more open to attacks that way, and you're also not as powerful. So I didn't know maybe like if she wanted to make sure she had two hands on the grip, knowing that he was a powerful, swordsman, I guess you can call him. But she also only used one.
Noticed throughout the fight, she's struggling to hold him.
Yeah,
he's powering against her. He's overpowering her with many of the strokes and stuff. So you can tell she was struggling. So maybe dual wielding one, and she still wasn't strong enough. So maybe she made the right decision by not having both.
Yeah,
good pickup.
Yeah, I found it interesting. She didn't really use both of them at all, even in neither fight. Yeah, because you can see there she's holding it with one, and then I think she ends up using the Force here with the other hand, which is why one hand is off the hilt. And then we see this. Well, did I just miss it? I did. I just missed it.
Yeah, and she used both sabers earlier in the episode against the droids.
So basically, Sabine comes back. She's threatening to destroy the map, and we find out that she's not going to do it because her relationship with Ezra goes back a long time. At this point in the timeline, we're talking probably somewhere between that 15 and 17 years, and Ezra's been gone out of her life for almost a decade at this point, if not actually longer than that decade, really. So she's got a tough decision to make, but then we see we kind of see that final slice. And remember, and also Ahsoka also burned her hand, which I think was another reason why at that point she only had the one hand on the hilt, because she had burned it trying to take the orb out of the whatever was the energy that was going through it to create the map. We basically get Balon slicing. We don't know if he actually hit her, but she falls a long ways, and we're not exactly sure what happened. And then again, this is why this is the three big fights are over now. But I think this was the best that Sabine has been, because Balon's using her feelings against her, saying that I know that you feel for Ezra, and you're not going to destroy it because that's the last chance you're going to be able to find him. So she ends up giving it to him and basically giving in to that, that connection with Ezra, and this goes back all the way back to the prequels, where this is why Jedi are not supposed to have, a relationship or an affection like this for another person, because then what ends up happening is they end up picking that person over the greater good. And that's the whole premise of what Star Wars is about. And that's why I'm so shocked that like I don't know. I mean, I know I've been watching Star Wars now for like 35 years. Shoot, dude, more than that, like 40 years. And, I don't know how much Charles is into it, but it's interesting to say that it didn't really amaze him. And I don't know, man, I thought this was awesome. So, I mean, Ryan, what do you think? Yeah. I mean, this is what Star Wars is.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the conversational aspect of him turning her. Like, I don't know if he did turn her. I think she's just playing along right now. I think she's just playing along. I don't think that she genuinely has turned bad, but I just think she wants to get to the point where she needs to get to, and then she'll figure it out. But I don't know how she's going to do that without Ahsoka, unless it ties into where Ahsoka is, and Ahsoka can step in through one of the worlds. I have no idea, but it's definitely something to ponder. I just love how we were right. We've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks, and we said that she's going to turn. Something's going to happen with Sabine, and it did. It was nice.
Yeah, it was something different and a little bit unexpected at this point because you figure I think you see Ahsoka, we're not sure. I guess in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, well, she's not gonna be dead, right? But we'll find out a little bit more later on here in a second. But like, she just saw her friend fall off the cliff, so she's probably thinking she's dead. And she's just like, I don't know, maybe she's just like kind of like giving up because she's like, what is she gonna do against this guy? She couldn't even beat Shin. Yeah. And this is the master, and you just saw him basically, handle Ahsoka pretty easily, actually. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I think that she's kind of just going along for the plan right now. And then he does. This is why Balin's character is so awesome, and I'm really curious to see where his arc is because again, we know that he passed away in real life, so I assume that he's not going to make it through the entire series. I mean, I don't know how he would. But his conversation is amazing, and just kind of the way he basically convinces her to basically join him. Obviously he's trying to manipulate her to a point too, so because he doesn't want that to blow up. Because then we see that he puts it back in, and they finish up the map. But yeah, I loved it, man. I love this scene. Like I said, I think this is the best scene that Sabine was in the entire series so far.
Yeah, and I was just expecting the golden snitch to get wings and fly away. It's just like the giant golden snitch from Harry Potter.
Yeah, yes, you're right. Yeah. So he basically convinces her. He gives it to her, and then Shin does come up because he does promise her that she's not going to be harmed. And I love this because if I can get that one look from Shin, dude, I want to see what you say about this. So he's kind of like saying, I shall keep mine, unlike your apprentice, I will keep my promise. He ends up resetting the map. I want to get there's a look that Shin gives when he says it. And I just wanted to get your take on it. If I can get it. It's like right. And don't forget, too, I was just going to say, because there they are. Don't forget, they're on their way to help. Because remember, at the beginning of the episode, Hera decides to go against commands or orders and do that. So I don't know. I don't know if I skip it. Because Shin's still there. Yeah, but see, and this is a pretty cool scene. But anyways, the look that Shin gives when he's like, well, I'm going to keep my promise. Dude, the way she looks back at Valon, I definitely think there's going to be something that's going to happen between these two. Gosh, I wish I could find that little.
Yeah, I think it's a foreshadowed line. I think it's a foreshadowed line that he once said in front of her to her mother. And then her mother died. And she doesn't believe. That line resonates with her. The wild theory.
Yeah. So it's kind of like right here, right when she releases, because he's like telling her, and it's just the way she looks at him. I don't know what it is with that look. I thought there was another little scene that we actually got to see. I shall keep mine. And then he puts that back in. I don't know. I might have missed it, but I know there was a look that she gives him, and I'm like, man, those two are probably gonna come down to fighting or something. And then, like I said, Hera's on her way, and then I love the scene when he's burning that, or he puts his lightsaber through it. I might have skipped it again. Gosh, it's so hard to like get what you want on Disney, dude. Yeah, of course I can't get it again. I had it earlier. Oh, there you go. I love it, dude. It's cool. Love that. Great shot.
Good to see you, Duck.
Hey, what's up, Duck? How you doing, man? Yeah,
that's a great shot. Love that.
Yeah. So he basically destroys the map that it's uploaded, and then they get back to the ship fairly quickly. I thought it was kind of funny, like how quickly they got back up there. So they're already back up there, and now they're basically. So, what did you think about this part? Because we saw the big ring last week, and that's after the last couple of weeks. Nothing goes in the shit. Nothing goes in it. It's like, what's the point of having the ring? Is it just so it doesn't hit anything in hyperspace? Like, I was trying to figure out, like, what, or are they going to use that to bring something big back? Like, one of Ron's ships or stuff? I don't know. What did you think about this? Because they didn't use the whale. They didn't put a ship into it. It was just a giant ring that flew, and it was a great scene. It wasn't like the Horde maneuver that we saw in Last Jedi. I don't know. Ryan? What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it was a device to pinpoint, like instead of it having the whole universe that you could jump to, it just focuses on what's within the center of the circle or what's within the circumference of the circle once they put the coordinates in. But one of my favorite shots in Star Wars history will be in this episode when it comes out of the clouds, when it raises out of the clouds. Dude, that was unbelievable cinematography. Like, wow.
Yeah, that was earlier. There was that. How early on that? Well,
but I have no idea why they didn't like get a Gurgle or something.
Yeah, that scene was awesome. You're right. I'm trying to. Oh, here it is, right here. Maybe I get it. So it's pretty much right there.
There it is.
Yeah, maybe a little before that.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, that is an awesome shot. It's right here, I think. It's like right here. This right here. Here. Oh my gosh, dude, this button. So wonky on Disney. There we go. So you get the shot of the ocean. You're like, okay, we're gonna see Ahsoka down here, and then the way it just turns to that blue, and as soon as right there, you can tell. Like right there, I knew what was happening. Like she's not in the water. I knew exactly where she was. So good. Yeah. We get the nice big shot of right there of the world between worlds. So Ryan, did you think that she was dead right here? What were you thinking on the first watch?
No. In the first watch, I thought she has somehow connected to the stuff that's inside her from the daughter that she got when she died and she was brought back. So I think that she's connected somehow to that to survive the fall. And now she's in here. I don't know what this means, but I genuinely don't think she's dead.
So you don't think she's dead? See, I think she is dead. And remember, I kind of called that. Now I got 2 out of 4 right because I said the 4 people were going to die. I got 2 of them, at least in my opinion. So here, I'll give you here's my 2 cents on this. So I think that she's in the world between worlds, and the reason why Ezra was able to go in there, I don't know. And how was he able to pull her out so she was in there? That's still very confusing because they kind of changed it. Now, if she's not dead, then how did she get there, though? I mean, I know she has the essence of the daughter in her, so it's possible she's not dead, and she just. But how did she get there? But there needs to be an explanation. If she's not dead, they need to explain this. Because Ezra at least was seen going through some type of portal. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she's dead, and I think that she. I can't tell, dude. Is it real or not? I can't remember what.
I don't have a clue.
No, it's not. It's not because he's Oh no, maybe it is because he isn't. He isn't out on my channel, so it's good. So I think that the world between worlds is a place where Jedi can show up once they die. So it gives them a chance to still become their human form, which is why he's not Ghost Anakin when we see him. So let's just fast forward it, and this will be like the last scene I show probably.
So is that why Palpatine couldn't get in because he wasn't dead?
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So I think it's a place where dead Jedi can go. Now, again, why Ezra? And then he obviously you get that amazing line. I think I don't know why Ezra was able to do it. Now remember, we saw Ezra do a lot of stuff that we've never seen other Jedi do. So I think that Ezra is just way more powerful than we actually ever gave him credit for. And I mean, look at some of the crazy stuff he can do. As far as talking to those loth wolves and just be his ability to talk to, communicate with animals the way he does. So I think you're right. I think that's why Palpatine could not enter the world between worlds. So when we see this, we hear them. And notice it's very interesting. It says mysterious voice, because I have a little theory about this part too. Mysterious voice says hello, Snips. So then we get the shot of Anakin. Now I don't know. How did you feel about the way Anakin looked? What do you think? I think it looks better than we saw in Kenobi. That's for sure.
But still, where we are in the story, but it looked terrible.
You thought it looked terrible?
His facial expressions looked. The CGI, yeah, it's whack. Yeah, it's whack, dude. It's really bad.
The hair really bothered me. It almost looks like he's wearing a wig. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Hayden grew his hair out for the movies or was a wig, but I always thought it was his hair. Here, it looks like a wig. And I don't know if it's because of the CGI or whatever. All right, so now one last little tidbit. Let me get to it. Now, this one, I got to find it because this kind of goes with my theory. All right, so there we go. All right, I don't think I can enlarge this. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think it's gonna let me do
it. Take a screenshot.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I'm in the process of making a video on this. It won't let me zoom in the way I want it to. It won't zoom in the actual.
Is it the saber that you're going to talk about?
Yeah. So look at the saber. I got that thing on the way. Hold on, let me fix it. Let me fix it. It stinks I can't zoom the picture. I had a feeling that Disney was not allowed, because that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to have to take a screenshot of this. So let me. It's so wonky. 1 second, guys.
I think she's coming back.
Okay. So I know you can't see it. I would definitely be putting a video out about this. But if you look as close as you can here, I can maybe do this. Maybe chat can kind of see it. Whoops, chat can see it a little bit better, maybe. So if you look there, that saber, dude, that is not Anakin's saber. That is definitely Darth Vader's saber. It is black. Anakin's saber is silver all the way through, and then the very bottom of it is black. But you can see right there that top and bottom are black. Now, obviously, I don't know if we can get a closer look. And the other thing I want you to look at, Ryan, look at his right hand. It's a mechanical. Like, if you're dead, why would you have a mechanical hand still? Because he doesn't have that in Return of the Jedi. It's Force Ghost. So my theory on this is,
wow,
I
never
think
noticed that. Four watching, and I never noticed the metal hand.
So my thought on this is, I think that maybe somehow, and I don't know how they're going to do it, I think that's the son, and he's trying to trick her. Now, I thought the son died, because he did, but somehow, some way, the son came back, because this would link all of Filoni's work. This would link Clone Wars, Rebels, and then the show. And then, because remember, the essence of the daughter is in Ahsoka. So somehow, the essence of the son, I don't know how he would do it. Maybe it's Night Sister magic. I don't know. But something's weird, because it says mysterious voice. Why would I not just say Anakin Skywalker? Why does it say mysterious voice?
Because I'm expecting it to change next episode. I'm expecting her to see Vader as well and have to confront Vader in that scene.
Yeah, well, I think we're definitely going to see Vader next episode. I think what's going to happen here is, it may be I'm way off. Maybe it is Anakin. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird stuff. Like, why is he got Vader's saber? There's just a lot of stuff here that doesn't look right. And then, like I said, with watching the subtitles, why doesn't it just say Anakin Skywalker? I don't know. It's really odd. I'll answer that question in 1 minute. So, but I think somehow this is the son. They're going to go through probably 2 or 3, maybe even more different scenes throughout the entire trilogy. Probably focus on the prequels. I don't think we're going to see original trilogy stuff, but they're probably there is a rumor that they're going to go back to Mustafar, and Ahsoka's going to like try to stop him, and it ends up like killing Obi-Wan or something like that. Again, this is just a rumor I heard, but I think we're definitely going to go back and see different scenes in the prequels where Ahsoka was not part of, and see kind of what happens if she kind of trying to interject herself into that part of the story if she had never left the Jedi Order. So I don't know. It's really interesting because again, I look at the hand. I'm like, okay, well, why if he's dead, why would they still have a mechanical hand? Because maybe the son, maybe the son just never. That's something they don't think about. They're just copy it. The Vader saber is really odd to me. It's that's a strange part of this. So I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I'm making a video on this whole saber thing because I think that's the most telling cue. That I don't think this is really Anakin, dude. And if it is Anakin, I'll be interested to see how and why they decided to like create him like this. But I do think Ahsoka is dead as of right now.
Interesting.
Because again, remember, she's already died twice, anyways. She's technically died twice, and she's basically been saved twice. Once by Ezra, and then once by the daughter.
So does this not set up season 2 then?
Season 2 for Ahsoka?
Sabine saves Ezra, and then Ezra asks, "Where's Ahsoka?" And he tells her she fell off a cliff. And then they have to go and find her and see. And then Ezra's the only one who can get back into the world between worlds because he's been there before, and he can go there and save her.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense where it's almost like reverse then, right? Like she was off to save Ezra, and now she's the one who has to get saved. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So Umpty, really quick, because I know we're almost at an hour. So very quickly, there it is. If you go back and watch our reaction videos, I'm not sure. I would have to throw them in the link. I would have to throw them in the link or something. But yeah, it's the Mortis arc. I know you're on Patreon, but the Patreon, it's the Jedi level that gets the full video because it's a whole hour. But basically, the son, daughter, and father, they lived on this planet called Mortis, and it was like kind of like a hidden planet almost. And in one part of the Clone Wars, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka, they're traveling, and they kind of run into this planet. I can't quite remember why they run into this planet, but it's just they kind of just end up there. And it's got a lot of dark side, and it's got a lot of light side. So basically, these gods, for lack of a better word, the father is kind of like, he's kind of like he's light and dark. He's kind of like in the middle, right? And this is what helps keep the force balanced. The son has more of the dark side. The daughter has more of the light side. Well, what ends up happening is the son gets greedy, ends up wanting to get all the power for himself. I believe he kills the father. So the son kills his own father, tries to kill the daughter, ends up killing Ahsoka. Anakin ends up killing the son, and then what happens is the daughter gives her life to make Ahsoka come back to life. So the father, son, and daughter are at this point dead. But again, after all that, Ahsoka had already died, but then the daughter put her essence into her to make her come back to life. Yeah, there you go. The Ultra Immortus. Yeah, it's a great arc, 3-part series, a 3-part arc. It's one of the best, and I have a funny feeling because that one got so much praise when Dave Filoni did it, and people love it. People love that arc, and I think, man, it would be a great way to bring that into live action. At this point, I think episode 5 is going to be absolutely off the hook. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be crazy.
It's going to break the internet. Break the internet.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, this is basically how the episode ends then. So we're not really sure exactly what's happening. And if I remember correctly, I think the next episode is supposed to be like 46 minutes. So maybe after credits and all that, maybe like 42-ish. So it should be about 6-7 minutes longer than this episode. See, this episode I thought was a perfect length. I still would have liked them to get here faster. Like, Ryan, don't you think that like they could have combined the first 2 episodes, cut out some of that crap, give the people who have never seen this stuff, give him like, well, he wrote the so he wrote the whole thing, but he's directing.
Yeah.
He directed episode 1
episodes.
and then episode 5, so he's directing the one next week. Yeah. I guess I just wish they would have got here faster. I feel like they could have combined 1 and 2, made one episode, and then they could have done like they could have literally had 2 and 3 and 4 go together too, and we could have been here episode 2, and maybe just built more of the story and had more Ezra, had more Thrawn, and I don't know. I mean, but hey, it's hard because I understand it's 8 episodes. He had a story. I just wish we would have got here faster. That's my only real complaint right now with the series.
My only real complaint with the series would be that death isn't an issue, but it feels like that with Disney all round. Like, nobody's died yet. I don't think Ahsoka's dead because she's still speaking to Anakin in this thing. Like, they haven't killed anybody.
Well, like I said, I really think the world between worlds has to do with that's where dead Jedi go, because he does make the comment. What does he say? What's the exact words he says? He says something like, "I didn't expect you to get here so quick," or something like that. Here, let's play it.
Anakin.
So I think I skipped it.
Master?
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
There you go. See what I'm saying? I didn't expect to see you so soon. Well, why would he say that?
But that was
Yeah, and I think that Jon Favreau came out and said that you don't been booted twice. I'm not sure what he's saying. I'm not sure what that means, Umpty.
Yeah, YouTube took us down. YouTube took us down twice, but it keeps coming back up.
Oh, because it's playing the video.
YouTube took us down like for copyright twice, but it's come back up twice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just edit it in the final thing. I figured they would, Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, that's all good. I kind of figured they would if I played too much. That's why I was trying to be really careful with playing it, but it is what it is. It's fine. I can edit it out after the fact. So, but I don't know. Anyways, we're over
an
an
hour. On the
hour.
stream for us, which is thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, because I've been watching the live things. I'm like, we got blanked, but I don't think we ever got booted because it's still running. So, yeah, it's and maybe that's why our viewership is a little bit low today. I don't know, and I know we went out at a different time, but because I knew that people would want to watch football, and so I didn't want to go live during the game because I just knew that we probably weren't going to get people there. I know that there's other channels on there, like I think they start earlier than me, but it is what it is. I just like talking about it, so hopefully people watch it on the replay. So, anyways, all right, we're gonna get out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be dropping a video, definitely about this episode later in this week. Probably, I'm gonna try to get it out before Sunday. It just kind of depends. I'm gonna work on it tomorrow. We'll see how fast I can get it up, and yeah, I mean. And then next week I know I'm dropping a video.
And I'm going to drop a video on Wednesday for episode 5. Sorry to put you up there. Yeah, Wednesday episode 5 reaction. I'm going to go through the community and get people's thoughts and stuff of what they thought about the episode, and we'll make a video and put it all together, and people can talk about it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
I didn't really talk to you off camera about this, but I was actually trying to think if you want to do this at 9:00 on Wednesdays instead. I hate waiting 2 days, dude. It's hard. So I didn't know. I was thinking about moving this to like for the second half of the season.
Let's do Wednesdays next week.
Starting Wednesday and do it like right after BOP, like do it right at 9:00. I don't know. Like I just feel like waiting 2 days. I feel like sometimes the viewership isn't there. I don't know. We could talk about it. I can make a community post for it. But I've kind of been thinking about it. It kind of makes sense to do the day after instead of waiting 2 full days. But anyways, all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching the video and the live. And like I said, if you're watching this on replay, if you don't see all of the stuff, it's because we got blanked out a couple times. And I'm gonna have to edit this up a little bit. But all right, thanks for seeing us, guys. Keep your heads on, stay milky, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Have a good night.
Stay milky.